This is Lightning's Blazefire Gunblade from Final Fantasy XIII. But how effective would a mechanical sword like this actually be for real combat? Let's find out. In Final Fantasy XIII, Lightning uses her Blazefire with a one-handed technique, as well as sometimes switching into two, and Lightning uses her blade as an interchangeable weapon, so it can become an actual gun or projectile weapon, as well as becoming a blade used for melee combat. So if we were to make something that would be able to flip into a blade and a gun at the same time, because of the mechanical aspects on Lightning's Blazefire, in our world, it might not be the best for actual combat because with repeated use and stress on the blade and the mechanical features, this thing might actually fall apart, or it might get stuck with the changing mechanics. Hitting something that has mechanical features like this would probably wear down all the pieces on the inside, so you'd have to really upgrade this over time or have to do a lot of maintenance on it so that you can keep it functional. But if Lightning's Blazefire was made out of mithril or some other components from the Final Fantasy universe, this would actually be really nice because the weight would be a lot lighter and the mechanical functions wouldn't really fall apart like it would in our world. But with the materials we have, you wouldn't really be able to make something like that unless we'd find a really good engineer and blacksmith to collaborate. With the design on Lightning's Gunblade, it'd be really good for piercing because of the tip, and it'd be really nice to do some half sorting, either grabbing it by the mechanical features right here, or even by the blade, and using it to do certain techniques, or even hit with the hilt of the sword because it's made out of metal. Doing any two-handed or even one-handed strike with the Blazefire is not a problem, but the weight distribution is a bit off on this thing, so it feels a bit top-heavy. So with the Blazefire, you would actually be better off using it with two hands rather than with one hand. The Blazefire might actually be good to do some reverse edge strikes because of the way it's designed. This piece right here on the back would easily do damage, or you could even use the hook right here to catch somebody's weapon in the bind and pull the weapon out of the way to come in with your own strike, or even pierce through with a thrust. The handle on her Blazefire can be used with one hand, but it also can be used with two. And the feeling on it is actually not that bad. It feels kind of comfortable because of the indents right here and on the front. You can put your finger in here so you can maneuver the blade a little bit easier, or you could just have your hands down here using it two-handed. With Lightning's famous stance using the Blazefire, it might actually be really effective for specific techniques or getting in around somebody's weapon to do your own attack. This stance can be used with longer swords like the ones you see in HEMA and in Japanese swordsmanship. So with the Blazefire being the length that it is, you would easily be able to pull off this stance and do some good maneuvers or techniques to get around your opponent. So what do you think? Is the Blazefire Gunblade an effective weapon for combat, or would you use a different one? Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover a different weapon in my next video.